What are the odds of a prince with a necrophilia fetish coming upon this particular scene just in the nick of time? That's weirder than anything even Dateline could come up with. Nowadays, even the dopiest and/or bashful of the little people would reach for his phone to ask Siri to find the poison control center. Hey there, hi, this probably isn't on your list, but can you tell me what the antidote is for a poisoned apple? No, I don't know if it's a Fuji or a Macintosh. It's red. Does that help? A kiss? Seriously? Oh, a royal kiss. That makes way more sense. Thank you very much, operator. Women get a bad rap for their unrealistic expectations, waiting for their knight in shining armor, their Prince Charming. But men want the equivalent, in a way. You want all your emotional and sexual needs met without ever having to discern them, articulate them, or do too much work to get them. Happily ever after, without having to look up from your screens, sandwiches, or porn. Snow White's only qualification for becoming Mrs. Charming is that she is the fairest of them all. That's it. That's her whole thing. No one asks if she can cook a decent goose over an open flame, slash the neck of a charging wild boar in the dark heart of the forest, or pen a witty tweet. And the prince instantly falls in love with her without ever speaking to her at all. In fact, Snow White's dad, the king, the one who married the evil stepmother who conjured up all this drama in the first place, married this not-so-nice woman only because she was hot as shit. That stepmom was the preeminent hottie of the land until she took out an unsuccessful hit on her own stepchild. And Snow White's dad married this bitch, so look at the parental role model Snow had. Her dad prized beauty above all else. Before the queen was an evil stepmother, wasn't she probably an evil mean girl in general? Didn't she create a whole bunch of drama amongst the other girls in the kingdom? I assume she probably screwed over some of her best wenches in order to catch the king's attention. I'll bet that shit was epic. Lying, cheating, too much ale pong, and deleting of royal texts. But it didn't matter to Snow's dad, who, incidentally, kind of falls out of the story. He might have guessed it may not end well for his daughter. His only qualification for wife was fairest in the land. It was like online dating, where women can spend hours and weeks filling out the wittiest, pithiest online questionnaires, while men are just whizzing by, checking out who has the biggest tits or reddest lips. All this is to say that often both genders place an unrealistic amount of value on looks and appearances. I guess I can't really make the generalization as to which gender does this more, but it's men. No shit, obviously it's men. Not that women aren't guilty of this too, but how often do you see a super hot woman with a disgustingly obese or obscenely elderly man? Him panting and sweaty on the bottom. Her doing all the work before his congested fatty arteries explode. Do you have to imagine them making love? Or is this only me? I wish I could stop myself. Would the kiss of a commoner have awakened Snow White? Those dwarfs could feverishly dry hump Snow White for hours, and of course they did. Why would anyone think she only cooked and made their little beds, washed and sewed and knitted for this gaggle of teeny men? For sure, Snow White spent the better part of her day relieving these 7 dwarfs of their pesky dwarf semen. Oi, I wish it were only 6, she must have muttered between dwarf BJs. Quality versus quantity. But either way, if the remedy for her poisoning is kissing, Snow White wasn't waking up from the kisses of their 7 stubby little dicks. Let's face it, Snow White awoke from the dead because of the kiss of someone who owned a royal penis. You have to be Prince Charming. And no, you don't need to look like him, have his cool lineage, or even own an especially high-caliber steed. You just need to have his manners and his ability to listen. Maybe you already can fuck anyone you want, and maybe this is the most important thing for you to be able to do. But doesn't it always run dry? I mean, sure, of course, you can pick up stupid women who fall for stupid pickup lines, which is what those seminars should really be called. But women, like anything else, can be more or less valuable based on their own self-esteem. Generally, the ladies who fall for the pickup lines taught at seminars are the women who